Just a quick one from me before we start. I have been nominated for a Be Creator Award and there is only a few days left to vote, and it is all done by votes of our subscribers. So I would massively appreciate if you have a spare minute, if you could go over to the Be Creator website and drop me a vote. This is how you do it. You just put in your email, press next, and then you can choose to vote in the other categories or click I don't want to vote in this category. And then I think I'm on the second or third page and it will be under Beauty Creator of the Year. And then obviously once you've done all of them, you can click submit votes. And I would massively appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the video. Hello, welcome back. I have been desperate to test this and I have got a whole bunch of makeup that is new in stuff. I'm gonna test it, tell you my honest thoughts. First up is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I actually bought this a couple of weeks ago and completely forgot that I even had it in my possession. I do like the original Poreless Putty Primer. I do prefer their Power Grip primers, like the really sticky one. But liquid form Poreless Primer, we will give it a try. And it says on the back of this to leave it to set for 30 seconds before you do the rest of your makeup. So I'm gonna start off with this amount and put some on my nose, in the middle of my forehead, and then a bit on my chin. I'm mostly just going to focus this like in my T-zone instead of bringing it all the way over my face. It's definitely mattified my skin because my skin is really glowy. I have got moisturizer and SPF on, so this is kind of setting it down. In terms of texture, surprise, oh crap, it's actually really runny. It's just like dripped onto my desk. Should have put the lid on. In terms of the texture, it does feel very similar to the pot of the Poreless Putty Primer, but I think that this one is a little bit more mattifying. What do you guys think? I think that's done a pretty good job. Although I've got to say, one of my favourite mattifying primers ever is that little pot of the Tarte one. Do you guys remember when that Tarte primer went viral? Because they thought that they'd put a filter on it, which there's still debate whether or not they did or not. But I tested that primer in a viral video and I actually love and use it all the time, like just on my nose and sort of around my smile lines and stuff. And I'm yet to find one that I like as much as that in terms of like a mattifying primer. But I've got to say, after the 30 seconds is up, I feel like it's kind of dried down a little bit and it's not as slippery. I like that. I like that more than the original putty primer actually. I just feel like it's done a bit more for me. We finally have Kosas. I don't know how you say that word, but we finally have them in the UK, which is really exciting. This is the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, broad spectrum SPF 25, medium coverage, natural dreamy finish, it says. I've got light cool 150 and light neutral warm 130. This one's got pink undertones, so I'm gonna go for the yellowy one, I think. I put tan on my neck because I thought that this was going to be a tan match, but looking at this, it looks like it's quite pale. Oh my god, that's actually really convenient. It has an expiry date on the bottom. A lot more makeup products should do that, like put an actual date instead of saying how many months it's fresh for, you know, because I forget when I buy things. I actually really like the packaging of this. It matches the concealer, which I have tried the concealer before. I quite like a frosted glass bottle. Don't know, just feels a bit fancy. And I also love a pump applicator if it will actually... There we go. For a second there, I thought that it wasn't going to come out. I reckon that's about the equivalent of one pump. So I'm just using a sponge to blend it over this side of my face. I think I will use a brush on the other side just to see if there's a difference. Let's use a brush on the other side of my face. Okay, yeah, you definitely seem to get more coverage with a brush, which is nice. Oh yeah, I much prefer it on that side. There's definitely a difference, like this one's a lot more sheer. Some foundations are just brush foundations and some foundations are sponge foundations. You know what, in terms of the shade, I feel like maybe it's a little bit darker on my face than it is in the bottle. Let's just see, has it oxidized? I'll just take a little bit and put it down here. I feel like it does oxidize a tiny bit, but that's fine because I feel like this color match is actually pretty good. I'm just gonna go over everything with my sponge just to even it all out. First impressions, it does look really nice. I think it's looking pretty good. It is picking up on dry patches ever so slightly. I've got like a spot here that's a bit dried out. Like, I don't know how well you can see here. It's clinging a little bit. But generally, I think that is looking really nice. I kind of agree with everything that it says on the bottle. I like it. It says, your dream skin revealed, alive, brighter, hydrated, visibly plumped, soothed, protected. I don't know about the visibly plumped, but it definitely looks glowy and healthy. And it has loads of skincare in here. Hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalane, vitamin B5, arnica. Arnica? Isn't arnica like what they use on bruises? Caffeine and Artemisia flower. It definitely does feel quite lightweight. I like that. And then I did already own the Kosas concealer, but I'm going to put on some of this as we're going with the foundation as well. Oh wait, this shade is a bit dark, isn't it? That is not my pale shade. Okay, it's fine. We will blend it out. You know what? For some reason, and I really don't know why this is, I have owned this concealer for a while, but I don't always go back to it. I don't know why. I just don't reach for that often. Like, I can't pinpoint the reason. To be honest, I think think it's mostly because I got a shade that was a little bit too dark. I mean, it's a good shade for blemishes when I'm tanned, but like under my eyes and stuff, it's just a little bit too yellowy orange. The shade that I was using was 03W. This one that they sent me is 3.5W, but this one for some reason, no, I don't think that is lighter, is it? Okay, we won't use that. That can go to somebody else. For my spots and stuff, fine. But under my eyes, I like to have one that's a little bit brighter. So I think that's why I don't tend to reach for this. Oh my God, this earring is driving me insane. I'm just gonna see if this other earring will rattle as much. Yep, that's still gonna rattle. I'm just gonna take out my second earring. Yeah, so far so good. I think my skin looks really nice actually. It looks very glowing. This is what I've been the most excited to try, the Made by Mitchell curve case. I went for the light one, and I've got to say, I ordered this off of TikTok shop 2 nights ago at like 10 o'clock at night. They had a deal, I think full price it's £38. I got it on offer for £30. But I ordered this at 10 o'clock at night and it arrived the next day at like midday. I had a notification at like 1 or 2 in the morning being like, your order has been dispatched. And I was thinking, who the bloody, like, who is working that late on a random Monday evening? So that was slightly crazy, but I went for the light shade. I did debate whether to get the medium or the light, because in the medium I preferred the blushes. However, the bronzers in the medium looked like they would be too dark for me, so I went for the light one, and I think it's gonna work out. Peach Sugar, which is one of my favorite Made by Mitchell blushes, is in the medium color case, not color case, curve case, and this is basically a cream bronzer and cream blush palette. It's got all of the shades on the back, so you can read like whichever one that is. We've got Shady Business, Creme Carve, Hollow There, Collectible, Snatural, Coral. Oh wait, hang on. The coral one, isn't the coral one called Coral? I can't remember what the Made by Mitchell Coral blush is called, but on the back of this it just says Coral. Cold Heart and Strawberry Cream. This just looks so like fresh that I don't even want to dip my fingers in it, but I want to see. Let's see how creamy the formulas are, because on TikTok they look super creamy. Oh wow. That is very creamy. I've got to say, if I'm being completely honest, with the Made by Mitchell colour case, which look very similar to this, but they're like a matte product, I was never really interested in those because they just looked a bit too matte and dry for me, and I just didn't really think I would get that much use out of them. However, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, that is a bit of me. Those shades look nice, because with the color case, you really have to like warm the product up on the back of your hand, and they dry down to like a really matte finish. And I was just like, it looks a little bit tricky to work with, and I didn't really think it was something that I particularly used. But this one, it looks so gorgeous in all of the swatches that I've seen on TikTok. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is these blushes look very light. The bronzers look good. That one is gorgeous. And that's the coral one. This one is Cold Heart, which is like a really cool tone pink. And this one is Strawberry Cream. Oh my God, I've run out of space to swatch, but just there on my knuckles. This is looking very promising. I'm gonna start off with Hollow There as like a contour color, because this one is more cool toned. Let's see what the consistency and pigment is like on my face. Ooh. This one is maybe a little bit light for me, but I think this will be really good on my nose. Very, very creamy. I'm actually going to take this one, which is Shady Business, because I think that is the shade that I have in the bronzer like blushes. They are very pigmented, so I'm a little bit scared by the amount that I'm picking up on my brush. But as you can see, they blend beautifully. It's just kind of melting in with my foundation, which is nice. It is definitely very, very pigmented, so you just need to be very careful and delicate when you're dipping your brush in, because you really don't need a lot of these. Like a little bit goes a long way. So just be careful, I would say, because you don't want to put on way too much at once, but they are blending really nicely. And I think he said that these are a blush balm texture, or like a bronze balm texture, which does scare me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like for me, my favorite kind of formula would be something in between this and the color cases, because these are super creamy. The other ones are super matte. I feel like I would like something in between, but that is just me being picky. Like, these are blending so nicely. But then I guess if you want something in between, you could just go for the regular blushes, because I really, really love the formula of those. I'm using the shade Hollow There for my nose. I think that's a pretty good nose contour shade. Dip into a tiny bit of Shady Business. They are definitely super blendable. Maybe because these are so blendable, and obviously once you blend them out, they go a lot more sheer than in the pan. I'm now thinking maybe I should have got the medium one. Let's try the coral shade, which I do have from the original blushes. Ooh. Oh, that is really pretty. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of this one, the Snatural shade, which I've not tried before, but it looks really nice. Oh, that is a bit of me. That is a bit of me. Okay, wow, my face is feeling snatched right now. Like, I'm looking very glowy. I'm curious to see how these are gonna set, like if they're gonna set down or if they're still gonna feel kind of sticky. I will definitely keep playing around with that, but so far I am excited by it. But that is my first impressions of the curve case. It does look very pretty. Wait, because I know that I'm gonna be setting this, I'm gonna put on a tiny bit more blush, which I know might seem a bit crazy, but I really want it to show. Like, sorry, so far before I've set, my skin is looking flawless. This base is looking so smooth. Granted, my skin is doing very well at the moment. I switched my Dermatica skincare treatment back to tretinoin. This is not an ad. I have done many ads with them though, but I switched back to tretinoin and my skin has been loving it. Because when my eczema was really bad, I stopped with the tretinoin because it was a little bit harsher, and I switched to, I think it was a Dapaline, which is a little bit more of like a gentle retinoid kind of treatment. As much as I love the glow from that, I do just want to set over these blushes and bronzers just because I want to see what they feel like when you do set them. They still feel the tiniest bit sticky. Like, they definitely don't seem to dry down in any sort of way, which is not what I was expecting at all, and I didn't really want them to. You know, they are not advertised as matte. They're literally creamy products. For my eyebrows, I have another Kosas product, the Airbrow Tinted Volumizing Treatment Gel, and I've got the shade Medium Brown. I've not seen anything about this. I've never even seen this in my life. This is the packaging. Kind of cool. It does look like quite a warm brown, and I have just literally tinted my eyebrows yesterday. So maybe today is not actually the best test for this. Oh wow, okay. It feels like quite a stiff formula, like quite a grippy formula, as if it's gonna hold my eyebrows in place. Like, it's not super wet is the point that I'm trying to make, I think. Yeah, wow, my eyebrows are really dark at the moment. Ooh, I like the texture of it. It feels kind of grippy. And it feels like it's dried down. It almost feels like a brow wax. I like the texture of that so far. I will be interested to try it when my brow tint has faded a little bit so I can actually see what the colour payoff is like. Let's try it on my hand. There's a little swatch. It does look like it's a little bit more of a warm brown, so maybe a little bit warm for me. Then for my highlighter, I actually spoke about this on my Instagram and my TikTok, but this is the Too Faced Moon Crush highlighter. This particular one is the shade Shooting Star, and the packaging for this is so cute. It looks like a little macaroon, and then it has this like imprint in it of the moon and stars, which is really cute. So apologies if you've seen this on my other platforms already, but I have not shown it on YouTube, I don't think. I did really like this though. It looks kind of wet on the skin. I don't know how well you can tell. I'm just going to do a bit of setting spray. For my mascara, I have got the Rimmel Thrill Seeker Wonder Volume Mascara in Pitch Black. I'm pretty sure that this is just the same as the Rimmel Thrill Seeker, but it's just supposed to be even darker. But I've seen a lot of people talking about this and there's been some buzz around it recently, so let's give it a try. This is what the brush looks like. I really liked the original Rimmel Thrill Seeker until I started wearing it out of the house, and then halfway through the day I would be like, why is there black smudges under my eyes? Unusually, because normally it's high-end mascaras that I find will like transfer on me, but yeah, unfortunately the original of this I found transferred onto my skin throughout the day, which is such a pain. But we will see if this one does the same. I really like how it gives quite wispy looking lashes. It's a very dry formula, which I quite like, and it's surprisingly not really clumpy. It really does a good job at like combing through your lashes. It's not giving tons of volume, but it's definitely giving length. That has really lengthened my lashes. Just going in with a third coat. Okay, yeah, I've got some volume with the third coat. That is looking really good. For some reason, it's not really gripping my lower lashes. I've just put some highlight on my inner corners. So these are the finished lashes. I think they look really nice. The bottom lashes are definitely more natural than what I usually go for. But for some reason, it wasn't gripping my bottom lashes as well as it was my top. Editing / cutting in here, your video has not frozen. I just wanted to give a little update. Unfortunately, I did get a bit of transfer with this mascara on my eyelids and beneath my eyes. Strangely, it wasn't as much transfer that I get with the original Thrill Seeker, but there still definitely was a little bit there. However, like I say all the time, that doesn't happen with everyone. I have got people that love certain mascaras that transfer on me, but they don't transfer on them. So it's definitely something that happens more often with me, but yeah, that is very unfortunate. I cannot wear it for full days, which is a shame. Then finally, for my lips, I've got some of the tinted butter balms from Kylie Cosmetics, which by the way, Kylie Cosmetics is now available on ASOS, which is really cool. So I have a few different shades. Let's see, that's T211. This shade looks so nice. called That's Tea. Again, I did test one of these on my Instagram, but I think I'm going to do a different shade. Oh my gosh. Okay, that one is like a bright red called Moving On. Not feeling that today. Pink Me Up at 8. Pink Me Up at 8. Oh, like pick me up at 8. I was about to be like, what is that supposed to mean? That one looks a little bit too light, so we won't go with that. It's between That's Tea, and then I used the shade She's Lovely on my Instagram, which is like a brown colour, and I keep going to smell them, but they don't smell of anything. Very disappointing. Also, to me, the packaging feels a little bit cheap. Like it's a very light kind of plastic, which is a little bit disappointing. This is the shade 808 Kylie. That actually looks pretty similar to the That's Tea shade. Oh my god, so similar. Very, very similar. I think I'm gonna go with the Kylie one, as it's her favorite shade supposedly. So with these, you just twist it up a tiny bit. You can't wind them back down, and then they are very full pigment. I would say it's more of like a super creamy lipstick than a tinted lip balm. Like it's full coverage pigment. This to me is not the kind of tinted lip balm that you could just put on without a mirror. Feels amazing though, like feels so smooth, so creamy. It feels hydrating. My lips are really dry at the moment and this just feels really nice. That colour is really nice. And you could easily just wear this by itself without a lip liner. I'm just gonna take a little bit of lip liner. This one is the Collection Cappuccino 02 lip liner. I should have done that first. I don't know why I didn't put that on first, but there we go. So this is my finished face. I think it looks really nice. I really like those base products. I think my skin looks great. So that is it from me. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give this a thumbs up. If you want to see this kind of video more, then let me know, because I definitely can do that. If there are any products in particular that you really want me to test, I would love more than anything to try the new Glossier foundation. It looks stunning. However, one of the ingredients does not agree with my skin, which is so frustrating because it looks so nice. But if there's anything else that you want me to test, let me know. I hope you guys are doing good. And if you watch my videos quite often, or you see me popping up a lot and you find yourself clicking on my videos and watching them, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe. It's free. I would love to have you. And I hope you guys are doing good. I'm gonna go cook myself some dinner and I will see you in my next video. Bye.